大家好啊！即你見唔見到 Camille 啦，有 Jamie 啦，我哋今日咧三個坐埋一齊咧，有啲嘢想同大家講。但係咧，因為你知 Camille 啦，Camille 係識聽少少廣東話，and then she can speak a little like she speaks English and she speaks Mandarin, but she doesn't like all right on Cantonese. So we're gonna go like bilingual in this. So when you hear English, like, I'm pretty sure that everyone understands English too. Like 廣東話都好好都可以講啊，Camille 都可以學下廣東話啦。So this is so it's been a really long time since we really chatted. So how are you, Camille?
So, back in Nice now since the beginning of the year, but training in Monaco, which is like a 40-minute drive. So I do that every day. But this weekend I was just in Paris for the first competition of the year, and it was so cold I wasn't used to it. I think I'm a little sick.
Wait, is it outdoor pool?
No, but okay, I mean, it's kind of my fault. Like the last day, there was an outdoor pool, and
And you
we
went
decided
outside.
to go in. So I think I did it to myself. But it was good to just, get the first race out. It's always like tough
I know.
to get back into racing, and I was the oldest by far.
Haven't you
Um,
get used to it already though?
yeah, except that here they call me Madame Chang. Like when they're announcing, it's like Mrs. Chang. And I was like, oh my God, I'm really old.
Oh,
But no, it was fun. It was good to get that out of the way. And yeah. Yeah. How are you,
okay.
Jamie?
I'm good. So right now it's 7 a.m. here in Lausanne, Switzerland. And it's my second week of being here, and it's really exciting. As you can see, you can see the moonlight outside, so it's so dark.
嗰個係月亮嚟㗎，
係啊，嗰個月亮嚟㗎，見唔見到啊？
我以為係你間房嘅倒影嗰個燈咯。Oh my god，幾點鐘啊？
7點啊，so 同 Camille 其實一樣啦，但係我哋嘅太陽大概8點至9點先出，
哦，
係
7點個月亮都未落。哦，OK。
crazy。但係咧，我而家喺洛桑，瑞士
嗯
係 home of the Olympics。Steph's been here, Camille is coming, so I'm really excited. And so far, I really like my work. It's really busy, and I'm trying to find a routine where I train by myself so far because the swimming team is out for a training trip. So when they're back, I hope I get into more of like a team training situation. But if not, I'll figure it out. But I do have a gym membership. So
，That's very crucial。
yes.
係啊
So Steph, how are you?
，Yes。
How is Singapore?
新加坡啊，我會講廣東話。新加坡原來同香港都好似嘅喎。I was saying like Singapore is really similar to Hong Kong. Like at the first day, I when I first stepped foot here in Singapore, I feel like, oh, this is so different. Like it's so like Western. But then the more that I am into the culture, I realize 新加坡人同香港人都好似，因為大家都係殖民地啦。跟住之後然後我諗係因為始終嗰個體系都比較似樣，然後人咧都中意投訴啦。我覺得呢個係好直接嘅感覺嚟。我識佢哋嘅時候已經覺得係咁。點解我會嚟新加坡？其實都係嚟訓練啦。咁已經嚟咗大半個月咁樣。咁訓練好開心，因為其實咧除咗你哋兩個之外咧，I'm gonna say this in English. Besides Camille and Jamie, both of them, actually, I have really good friends, like swimming, like I would almost call them like my teammates from Singapore too, because we've been swimming together for the longest time, like ever since like Asian Youth Games, which is in like 2009 something. We already did. I already knew them, and then ever since every meet, like, we see each other, so I feel like they're just like global teammates to me. So I'm really just like excited that at the end of this of my swimming career, I get to train with them. So I'm just
What do you
very
mean the
thrilled.
end? What do you mean the
Well,
end?
it is coming to an end. Come on,
Steph's
let's
going
be
for
real.
2028. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know. I've been like saying I'm gonna retire for the longest
But
time,
who
but I
knows? Who
haven't.
knows, right?
It's okay, Steph. Me
No,
too,
no,
me
no.
too. I thought I'd
Yeah.
retire a long time ago.
No, so I think it's a good time. Like probably everyone is like wondering why we three are coming together and like chatting. Given like we still see each other, we still chat on our own. But yeah, Camille, why won't you tell the audience, tell our friends what we're doing here?
And how do
Okay.
we meet?
How did we
Oh, how
meet?
do we meet?
Wow.
And that.
For me, okay, well, with Steph, I always remember being like, because I, at the time that I like got better at swimming, I was still living in Beijing. So I would only fly back like a few times a year for competitions. And I just remember like seeing Steph, but like being too shy to ever say anything. And it actually wasn't until I went to Berkeley where you were already there because you were a year older that we actually like I think even first spoke, which is crazy
Yes.
because like we had obviously seen each other. Well, I don't know if you knew who I was, but I definitely
Oh,
knew
we
who
all
you
know who
were.
you are. You're the girl with this like choker
Yeah.
on. She has this
Oh my
choker
God.
on, like black plastic,
Yeah.
like those like curly chokers on.
Yeah.
Even
And
when
I
she's
remember
Wow.
like
swimming in the
yeah.
competition, like we're like, who's this girl? Like
Oh
swimming
my
in a
God.
Hong Kong local meet with like a
Uh,
choker on.
yeah.
Why? Can you like? I haven't really asked you that question. Now I want to know.
When I was younger, I was just super self-conscious that I had a really
Yeah.
long neck. And for some reason, I thought that having the choker like made it smaller.
Oh.
And I
Oh.
literally had that on for like 8 years or something
No,
crazy. Like
yeah.
all my photos from like youth to middle school to even beginning of high school. And then finally it broke because it's plastic. And I think that's probably the best thing that happened. Otherwise, I probably would still be
Still be
wearing it.
wearing it.
But you know,
Wow.
it came back into into fashion, into style. Um, I
Dude.
think that's how Steph
Well,
we met. And for me, it was really helpful because I was feeling super homesick when I was like living first moved to Berkeley, and it was really nice to have, you know, like home. And I think since then, like you've always felt like an older sister to me.
I mean, yeah, I mean for me, so just just for the record, I see them as like my 師姐，because in a way，即係我好細個嘅時候，佢哋已經好勁啦。咁我嗰時係唔快嘅完全，咁所以我第一次見 Camille 係我第一次去亞運啦。佢嗰時仲要攞牌，又摘花，and I'm like oh Camille，can we take a selfie together？真係好 shy 咁樣啦。And then 同 Steph 就係2014年，我哋一齊去青澳。咁嗰時候
哦，
佢係我個組媽 or leader captain，咁 through 呢個經驗就識咗佢哋啦。咁之後其他 meet 就越嚟越熟啦，同埋我又開始參加啲 adult senior 嘅 meet，咁所以就一齊 compete and then became friends。
yeah. I'm just gonna put in a little side note between me and Camille's like how we met. Yeah, we never spoke to each other, even when you had your choker on,
Oh my God.
until you have your choker off. I'm see you in Berkeley. That was in a gym room. I remember. I'm like, wait, that looks like Camille. Is that her? Because like you just happen to. She's a walk on. She's a
Yeah.
freaking walk on in Berkeley. She's so good. Like her academics are so good that she can just be a walk on for our team. So like she appeared in our gym session all of a sudden, just like come and visit, I think. And yeah, since then we are teammates, and then we got really close actually after. I think it's like after we graduate,
Mhm.
because like you're actually being like a full-time Hong Kong representative in swimming. So and we always like room together, and we go to like train. We used to even train together too.
Mhm.
So yeah, but um, Jamie，我真係除咗係青澳，我記得青澳之外，我已經唔太記得其他嘅所有嘢。佢對咗係一個極度容易冇記性嘅人。我諗
It's
青澳但係
okay。
好開心嘅，因為青澳係一個好有趣嘅 experience，竟然有一個好似祖瑪咁嘅人物啦，咁可以帶住啲我哋嗰時嘅小朋友啦，跟住其實仲要嗰時係你啦，仲有 s h a v o n 啦，同我哋係一間房噶咯，完全唔知
係啊，
點解可以咁樣就瞓埋一間房，5、3個人一間房咁樣，跟住就日日帶住你去即係去比賽啊，其實都唔係我跟住你哋去比賽咯，跟住等你哋比賽完咗之後，我哋出去玩其他嗰啲文化活動啊，咁真係好開心嘅。But yeah, I was just saying about like youth Olympic Games,
Mm.
like how we were all together, and No, I when you brought up that choker story, I feel like that's like the perfect lead in into our topics. Like I didn't even know the reason that you had
Mm,
that choker on.
yeah.
So I guess it's like time to review why we're all three here
Yeah.
sitting in a circle, like talking about like what are we here for?
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I think, I mean, it's just like, well, I think first of all, it's like crazy to look back to how we met, and it's like I think I forget sometimes because I feel like the day to day hasn't really changed for me in the sense of like I'm still swimming, so it's been what I've been doing for like 20 years. But when you look back, it's like we've been through this journey and together in a way for so long. And I think especially like you said, Steph, since I moved back to Hong Kong after 2016, like I you guys have really been like support like for me. And I say like my big sister Jamie, maybe not my big sister, my younger sister. But I think what's been really important in, at least for me in swimming, is just having that support, and both of you are really big integral pieces of that. And I think that's, like you said, it's the choker story. And I know we both, or we all three, have our own so many stories to share about our experiences, that there's stuff that it's just like hard what we do sometimes, physically and mentally. And I specifically remember when we were in Tokyo, that there was like one evening, I think it was after the whole competition, where we were sitting, us three, and we kind of had this like big heart to heart and kind of like contemplating life conversation of like, everything that's happened to get us to this point. We're talking about swimming. For some of us, it's like, are we retiring? Is this it? Like, and looking forward, what are we going to do? What's next? Um, you know, what have been some of our struggles and our challenges? And I think it was really special for me, because obviously we've shared so many special moments in the pool, like Asian Games, our silver medal relay, obviously going to Tokyo together. But I think it's beyond the pool that it's been really, really special. And I think since that conversation, we've started to talk more and more about, how can we continue to support each other, whether or not it's in the pool or not. And in doing so, and hearing each other's more and more of each other's, experiences and stories, I think we've realized how, like, we're here to support, but that there's still something that's like missing. And the more we talked, the more we realized that, um, you know, left and right in Hong Kong, there was just so many issues, whether it was, mental health problems, um, like to the extreme where it could be clinical Google search mental health in youth in Hong Kong, and you have depression, anxiety, stress, or just mental well-being, which is, with COVID and everything that happened, uh, a lot of people were just struggling with motivation and what to do. And so as the more and more we talked with with people in the space, in the community, with ourselves, just from what we were hearing, we realized that there's something for us to do. We want to use today really to introduce Mind the Waves, which is, what we've um, it essentially it exists to improve the mental well-being and the mental health of young people in Hong Kong. And how we want to go about it is we really want to create a community that listens, that shares, that increases awareness, and so that we can really encourage better mental health and well-being throughout our generation. And this is, I think, what we're, um, in a way, of course, that's like fun and easy and authentic. I think that's really one of the things that we've talked a lot about was, all of this is really from the heart, and being in a place where, at times I think we will be vulnerable, sharing our stories and experiences that um, we amongst us three have, but like to the bigger audience, not necessarily. But I think that's really, really important, because if I can use my platform and share my story to give back to the community, then this is the way that I feel like I want to. And I think that's where Steph and Jamie, we all kind of were like, okay, you know, enough talking about what we're gonna do. Let's just finally do something. And so, um, but it's a journey, and like we didn't just start being good at swimming. It took time to get there, and
That's a
I
very
think
good
that
analogy.
like we're inviting everyone to be on this journey with us, and so really it's about being engaging, having a community, listening. Um, it's as much for us as it is for other people.
Exactly. And you know what? Like we're not experts. We're not well, Camille has a psychology background, but then we're not certified like psychologists. So we're really trying just to talk, just to create a space where everyone who can listen and engage if they want or not, like we're just trying this out also. And so we just want to have fun and make it meaningful. And Steph, what do you think our audience can
Oh,
expect?
you know what I'm thinking once you guys are saying this? I'm like, because everyone is asking me, like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do after swimming? Like, dude, this is what I wanna do. Like, this exactly is what I wanna do. I just wanna like sit
Yes.
here and like talk and just like talk our hearts out, whatever. I don't even care what like people would think. I mean, yeah, like you said, we're just like trying this out. 我哋就係即係咯，我真係用廣東話講啊！即係好多人都會問咧，究竟你之後游完水之後想做啲乜嘢嘢啊？咁我覺得即係因為有好多我哋真係 behind the scene 嘅一啲故事，其實我哋心入邊嘅成長經歷，即係唔係每一次訪問其實都係即係講得晒嘅。好多時會係記者問一啲問題啦，然後我哋就答啦。咁但係其實好容易係即係最後都係記者嘅筆嚟寫噶嘛。咁但係好少係我哋自己主導自己去 create。即係嗰個內容，究竟我哋想點樣表達？我哋表達出嚟都係真心真摯 authentic 嘅。咁所以我覺得有咩好得過我哋三個女仔可以坐埋一齊，然後做一個YouTube style 嘅 video podcast 又好，即係我哋個 format 都仲喺度諗緊，但係真係想有一個咁樣嘅空間俾我哋三個啦，然後希望如果有大家係有興趣聽我哋嘅故事，或者都覺得我哋其實做呢一樣嘢。係有啲共鳴嘅喎，聽落去都覺得舒服嘅喎。其實我哋就已經想，即係都想大家一齊嚟聽下。咁我諗我哋其實有啲咩可以大家聽我哋呢一個 channel，其實有啲乜嘢可以 expect 到咧？因為我哋嚟緊其實今次係第一集啦，然後我哋之後咧每兩個禮拜咧就會出一段咁樣嘅 video，我哋就會去揀，我哋自己係揀 handpick 咗5至6個 topic 咁樣樣。我哋自己覺得最同我哋最相關嘅，咁就會我哋 share 下我哋嘅故事啦，同時間亦都會邀請一個喺嗰個 topic 上面相關嘅真係 expert 嘅人，可能去分析一下，同講下佢哋喺呢一方面嘅睇法咁樣。咁所以都唔係我哋自己三個人喺度齋吹水，然後冇內容冇內涵咁樣嘅。所以咧，我都希望大家同我哋一樣，同時間有得着嘅。So did you get that,
Yeah.
Camille?
Pieces of it. But what I will say is, I think that was like a better way of thinking about it is like when people keep asking, like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do after swimming? And I think that is definitely something, I mean, for me, that was like been on my mind since 2016, is because I thought then that I was going to retire. And there's so much pressure about like, if I'm not a swimmer, who am I? What do I do? And I definitely had that moment of like, I don't know if I'm ready to let that go. And I think in the years since, I've really found like another passion outside of swimming. And um, I studied psychology in college. I went back and did my master's. Since then, I've done, more certifications with sport and performance psychology. And so it's always really been around psychology. And for me, I've um, I've never I mean, I don't want to go necessarily personally into the clinical side, but for me, it's always been advocating for the preventative side of things. And so I think when people ask me, like what it, I guess my philosophy or like what is it that I believe, it's especially as an athlete, we all know that it takes a lot of physical training and the demands and the challenges. That piece is quite, we train, 8 to 10 times a week. We swim, we gym, we all that kind of stuff. And I think sometimes um, and like the second we get injured, we do rehab, we go to the doctor, we rest. It's always like that. And I think one of the things that's less talked about is like the mental piece of it. And that's been something for me in the last, however many years that I've really, really focused on it, because I think that that makes such a huge difference in the performance. It's when you step on the block, it's, everyone has been training so hard, but who is it that's the most confident? Who is it that really believes in themselves? Because I've experienced, being in top physical shape, but mentally I was just not really there. And so really like tapping into the power of the mind and all of that. And I think one of the things sometimes that frustrates me, which is why I this is a good thing that we're doing, is that people I think they go to the gym, they go to the doctor, they always invest in their physical health. And I think what would be so amazing to see is people investing in their mental health and their mental well-being in the same way. It's like instead of the gym, you have like the mind gym. So what is it that you're doing that's good for your mental health, every day, not only when something, really bad happens or a challenge or a struggle. And I think it's not just the gym part, but it's also like I think of it like a spa. Like, how do you take care?
Yeah.
Train and take care. For me as an athlete, that analogy, I guess, really works well for me. And I think those that's like some of the things that we'll be talking about.
With everything that's being said, I know you guys are all really excited to hear what Mind the Waves will offer in the next few months and weeks. So we're gonna have this every 2 to 3 weeks, and we'll invite guests uh, in different fields of expertise, or even from our daily lives, or our friends, athletes, or musicians, students, even to come onto our show and talk about mental. And this is a dialogue. We want you to be engaged. We want to listen to what you have to say. So, what we're going to talk about is really up to you. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you want to hear about, and we'll discuss. Leave us comments, and we just really want to create the space and community and share. Just talk about it, and you can always just shape it yourself. So stay tuned. Tell me what you guys want. Leave comments, and we'll see you next time. Woo!
Thanks for
Woo!
Yay here.